Hey guys, I'm Tiffany Smith.
And I'm Jason Inman. Today we're sitting down with Arrow's Echo Kellum, who plays Felicity Smoak's new sidekick, Curtis Holt.
He's gonna give us the inside scoop on what's coming up in season 4. So get ready for DC All Access. In publishing news, the new miniseries Batman Europa launches tomorrow with art by the amazing Jim Lee. In the book, Batman is infected with a virus for which there is no cure, and his only hope for survival is the Joker. Grab your copy to see the enemies team up and travel Europe in search of answers.
The Clown Princess of Crime is up to her usual mischief and mayhem in the new issue of Harley Quinn. This week, she has to take on a geriatric super spy who survived getting impaled by a rhino. Pick up issue number 22 to see how Harley handles one of the deadliest grandmas of all time.
Last week, Neil Gaiman sat down with the Pulitzer Prize winner Junot Diaz to talk about the legacy of the Sandman. The full live stream of the event is available here on DC's YouTube channel, and these are some of the highlights.
Does death ever come to you in your dreams?
I have never dreamed of death. I have dreamed on a couple of occasions of Dream, the Sandman. I've dreamed of him. And on one very, very peculiar occasion, I dreamed what it was like to be him. I look at Sandman 8, and it's the first one of them in which I don't sound like anybody else. I found my voice.
There is some really freaky stuff going on in a small Latin American town in Vertigo's Twilight Children, one of my favorite new books. With cheating lovers, blind children, and alien girls on the beach, we need writer Gilbert Hernandez and artist Darwyn Cooke to untangle issue number 2 for us.
It's a science fiction story, but that's really only on the surface. It's a story about community, and I think ultimately, whether Gilbert's going to get mushy about it, it's about the power of love. The story's about love.
Yeah, it's pretty much a low-key story about people just living in a small village, and a science fiction element enters the fray, and just how the characters react to it, how they react. Unlike, let's say, a science fiction movie where they deal with the military getting involved, it's more like about the characters, how they feel about it, and how it affects their simple lives.
It was great when I got the script for number 2 because I realized almost every character was not what they seemed. I had designed and approached the characters in a certain way based on what I knew of them. And when we get to issue 2, we realize they're not that at all. So it was very interesting for me because the story took a really neat and complicated turn at that point.
Thanks to some killer chemistry with Felicity Smoak, Curtis Holt is one of the fan favorite characters from the 4th season of Arrow. We've got star Echo Kellum here to hack into Arrow's mainframe and give us a look ahead at some of the terrific things in store for his character. So obviously, your character and Felicity have great chemistry, so how long before she asks him to join Team Arrow?
You know, I'm thinking it should have been in episode 2 when he premiered, but I really don't know yet. You know, the producers tease that it could happen this year, it could happen next year. I know it will happen though. I've already talked to the costume people and they're like, yeah, it's gonna happen. You know, I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Well, and just kind of jumping off of that, how long do you think it is before we see Mr. Terrific with some superpowers being demonstrated on the show?
I think it could happen fairly soon. Like we already teased the T-spheres, and as we know, Mr. Terrific's main superpower is his brains, and he creates all these cool tech, and you know, is a great engineer and developer. And I think that we'll definitely get some of those flashes towards the middle and later parts of the season of seeing him really put his brains together and create some really cool stuff.
And side note, you were saying you're getting tweets from William Shatner.
Yeah, well, even Mark Hamill tweeted me yesterday, and like I screen capped it, and I'm trying to figure out like how do I frame this. But getting to meet him and all stuff like that, and just a lot of great comic book fans, it's been phenomenal. I mean, and people that I didn't think in a million years would be comic book fans have like already come up to me. Like I was in a club the other day, and these 2 dudes walked up to me, like Rick Ross and somebody else, and he's like, I'm loving what you're doing on Arrow, man. Just keep it going. Seriously, that's tight. And I'm like, wow, like I didn't expect, like, you know, it was just, there are nerds everywhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We come from all different types of places and different backgrounds, but we are all connected through our love for these really intricate and fully developed and fleshed out characters who remind us of our real lives and have supernatural powers.
Before we go, we've got a brand new copy of Batman the Golden Age Omnibus to give away to one of you.
The book collects the first 2.5 years worth of comics starring the Caped Crusader and features the debut of Robin, the Joker, and Catwoman.
For your chance to win, click subscribe and then let us know in the comments who your favorite classic Batman villain is.
And don't forget to use the phrase, my DCAA entry.
Well, that's it for now. Be sure to click on some of those videos over there if you want more DC All Access.
Plus, Frank Miller is doing a live Twitter Q&A this Friday, so make sure you're following at DC Comics so you don't miss out on the fun.